Do you think there maybe should be a merchant that's open 24/7? Yeah.
So our dream ticket is we are gunning to be 24/7. The problem is a lot of the older school builders merchants shut at 5 and shut at midday on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But you've got the likes of Screwfix and Toolstation and Selco now, which are open 7 days a week. I think lockers are going to play a part. You know, so you can access stuff through a locker and we can deliver to lockers.
Not all tradesmen are tech-minded, so what feedback have you both had from tradespeople in terms of like trying to get them to use technology?
I think there's two different worlds, isn't there? There's the older school tradesperson who's always done it the way they've done it. And they're harder to convince because they're set in the ways and changing that habit. And then you've got the next generation who are coming through. That's our target market because they've grown up doing everything on their phone. Convincing trades that there's a better way of doing it that ultimately improves their time or gives them new jobs is the biggest challenge. But once we crack that, then hopefully it's trade to trade. They spread the word, say, look, get on this. It's saved me 3 hours a week.
So welcome back to another guest show. Today we have two special guests.
Two special guests.
You normally say special, don't you?
They're all special, aren't they? They're all special.
We have Alistair from TradeKart and Gio from JustFix. In
Welcome.
his bright pink top.
Welcome. Yep.
It's too early for this.
You can't
Very
miss Gio, can you? Let's just look, on the blue background, he is like, you know, I can't think of what he would... What's pink? What is a bright pink colour?
Pink.
Apart from the what object is normally pink? Like the snug duck. The snug duck. Yeah, let's mention Snug. They got a free plug.
And that rhymes.
Yeah, thank you for coming down.
Pleasure.
And, coming and see us too. So yeah, just a little background about sort of what your company does in the tech space of the trade industry.
Go on, Alistair, you go first.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Alistair from TradeKart. We launched early 2022, and best way to think of TradeKart is really like a delivery for tradespeople. So the idea sort of came during COVID when we were all ordering everything on our phones, you know, Deliveroos, films, betting, you name it. It was tap the phone and get it because nobody could get out of the house. And it just seemed that in the trade world, construction generally, we're just so far behind the curve. And having grown up in this world, I thought, now's the time to give it a go. So we spent most of 21 building it, and 22 we launched, and now, well, we're still alive, which is one thing, isn't it? As we all know in the tech world.
Yeah, it's not it's tough times, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's not easy, but.
So Deliverooing, like you say, it's a bit like Deliveroo. What do you use? Do you use like mopeds? How's your transportation and all that?
Yeah, so the way it works is you go onto the app, and that app, wherever you are, it connects you to all of your local merchants. So builders merchants, plumbing merchants, decorating merchants, what have you. You get your livestock, tells you what's available. You tap the button, yeah, I'll have it. That their order then pops up in the merchant to say there's an order now in for TradeKart. As soon as they accept the order, then that fires it out to all of the local available drivers. So they could be mopeds, cars, vans, Luton vans, just depends on what the size of the order is. So our number one, believe it or not, number one mode of transport in London is the cargo bike, which are those little boxes that you see cycling around.
Yeah.
And they're brilliant because you can get you get a boiler in the back of those,
Right.
and then you can get it on the use the cycle lanes. I'm not sure they're just on the edge of being able to use cycle lanes.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be on a bike with one of those coming the other way with a boiler in the back of it, but they can just sit around London. You see them all over the place now in town, and they work out pretty good. So it's basically just connecting tradespeople to drivers to merchants, so that basically trades can get on with what they want to.
What would you say the main trade that uses you is? Is there any like clear cut winner on that one? Not winner, but who uses you?
So plumbers, really.
Plumbers.
Plumbing and heating, because a lot of plumbers now are doing 6-8 jobs a day, and generally when they get to site, they're not sure what they need. So they rock up, find out what the issue is, and we can generally, our average delivery time across London is about 40 to 45 minutes. So they can be cracking on with prepping the job, whatever else they need to be doing, knowing that the part's going to arrive. Yeah, on time for them.
Because there's nothing worse than getting a parking space in London.
What is that?
When you finally get one in London and you pay X amount of money for it, and then you find out that you've got to drive out to get a part, and then lose that space and then park up around. Especially, like, obviously, these times of crime and that as well. You want to keep your van in a place where you know it is, don't you? You know, you don't want to be traipsing around like 150 yards for a new space that you already just had one outside the property. So keeping your space is a major thing in a plumber's book, innit, in London. That's what, really.
This sort of relates. I thought about it before. Do you think there maybe should be a merchant that's open 24/7, yeah, or late? Like, there's nothing like if you're out late and you need a boiler part, you got to wait till the next day.
Yeah.
So our dream ticket is we are gunning to be 24/7. The problem is a lot of the older school builders merchants shut at 5 and shut at midday on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But you've got the likes of Screwfix and Toolstation and Selco now, which are open 7 days a week. I think lockers are going to play a part. You know, so you can access stuff through a locker, and we can deliver to lockers. But longer term, also in London, a lot of jobs get done when shops are closed.
Well, that's the thing, because
especially boiler repairs.
Well, the thing is with us, a lot of when somebody phones us and they say, "Oh, when do you want us there?" A lot of the time it'll be, "Well, we don't get home till 5." Because a lot of like couples and that, they're both professionals nowadays. Because everyone, whether you like it or not, most people have to work, don't they? And they're going to tie in with, they can't all take time off. So after hours, which I don't agree with in myself, basically, is what I do. Because I will say, well, you want the job done.
Until 5, I finish at 3.
But we got to look.
You should have been a painter or something.
Yeah, but we got to look. We have to look.
No
at
disrespect to painters.
No, but we have to look at it in that way, don't we? That generally speaking, a lot of heating engineers and that are working after hours because that's when people need them in their houses. So, like, 24/7 shop would be what we want, isn't it?
And also, I think on a Monday morning, so what we're finding now is on a Sunday, people are placing their orders, so their parts arrive to site for 8 o'clock. The worst time to travel in traffic, as we all know, is first thing Monday morning, beating your way through traffic. You've got to go to the merchant, pick up your part, go to site, do what you need to do, run out, back to the merchant, and you think, what is that all about, driving around?
To be honest, your parts will probably make it to site before I do, to be quite honest.
You don't paint yourself with a good picture, are you? If you need any plumbing done, ring Pete.
Is the plumber there, yeah? No, the parts are, though. That's what it'd be like for me.
Yeah, I'll be honest, no plumber is hoping for a 24-hour merchant because it's their get out of jail card. Isn't it? Let's be honest.
True, I'll come back tomorrow,
Sure.
Charge £300,
that could be your
that could be
your thing. That could be your thing. Sorry, darling, the part's saying, "Oh, but what about TradeKart? There's a 24-hour." What?
There's an advert in this.
Hang on a minute. What are you talking about? It's okay, we've signed up. Well, what are you saying? I've got to stay here now. I want to go to the pub, love. I want to go to the pub. But it's all it's all good. It's innovative, isn't it? In way of sales, I would say, innit? So
there's a guy I always say, if you don't innovate, you evaporate.
ooh,
like that.
Oh, Kieran, look.
I'm going to write that one down.
Always remember that.
Evaporate, brilliant. That one.
Robbie's probably heard me say it about 100 times.
He has. That's why he's no expression on his face whatsoever. Completely ignored it.
Yeah, so Pink Duck.
So what is JustFix? Well, JustFix is an app as well.
Yeah.
I feel outnumbered here.
Yeah, we've got an app for you.
It's just
Pete.
tech.
We have got an app for you.
Twat.
Swipe left, swipe left.
The question is, do you use any of them?
No.
Yeah. Do you know why though? He's still got a Nokia and he can't download anything.
I'm not going to lie and say, yes, I use these. I'm very tech behind.
So you
at the
do
moment.
use gas certificate.
He's
app.
But I use that. No, I
He's
use yours though,
evaporating.
don't I? I do use yours.
Yeah.
Because you give it to me for free. So thanks a lot. But no, to be honest, I'm not very tech minded, if you like. You know what I mean? I have to be nursed through these things and shown several 100 times on how to use things. So I sort of like, I'm just old school, innit? I go out, do my job, come home, and that's it. But that's not to say I cannot be turned, Gio, turned. Do you know what I mean?
We all can be turned. To be fair, like it's
Well, you're wearing a pink top, aren't you? So. He never used to wear pink tops.
Who says I'm turned from anywhere? No, to be honest, it's like if you think back before the Deliveroos and the Uber Eats and the Ubers, like how we did things in an old school fashion, and you know, there is convenience, and we know we pay for convenience. So even when you do get a delivery, you are paying for the service charge, the delivery charge, and we know we're doing that. But we value things differently. We value our time. The same applies to trade JustFix, because we've got, like, if you're a homeowner, that typical scenario, you're on the train to work, the missus calls and says, we've got a leak, we've got a drippy tap, you know, I'm locked out, whatever it is, you're in a moment where you just need something done fast. So the app saves you going, you go on the app, you look for which trade or service you're into, click on that, describe what you need, take a photo, if you can take a photo, upload that, then that looks like it locates a fixer. So the same way when you're looking for an Uber from A to B, it will say find a newer driver, it goes, ping, we found you a fixer, he's on his way. The customer's just delighted at that point. They're just like, someone's come in, I haven't had to read a load of reviews, I haven't had to make outbound phone calls. Can you come now? Not now. Okay. Can you come now? Great. How much? Oh, let me make another call. You know, it takes all the legwork out.
Yeah.
And one example I like to give is it's a bit like Amazon. So we're a marketplace, effectively. You know, we vet tradespeople to come on our platform, and then you are entrusted in us to provide you a bona fide, insured, qualified, and good high quality tradesperson. So the same way when you buy something from Amazon, you kind of buy it without fear that if you're not happy with that service provision, you can just pop it back. You know, you're going to get a refund as soon as you put it back in the letterbox, in fact. So it's just giving all those reassurances to the consumer that we make it really easy, really simple, and you can get a tradesperson free with a few clicks of a button.
You've got, like, both sides of the coin. You've got the tradesperson and the consumer, who will both sign up to your app. That's like quite a thing, isn't it? Because normally it will just aim at the tradesman sort of thing, these apps and stuff like that. But yours, I'll just check a trade as well, I suppose, doesn't it? If we're mentioning, sorry, but I'm not meant to mention that, am I? I'm just thinking though, because a lot of tech that we see in, like, the trades community is just directed at the tradesperson, isn't it? So in this case, you've got both.
Yeah, we need both parts of that.
Yeah.
And actually, what is one of our growth strategies or challenges is that, imagine if you were a homeowner and you heard about this great app and then you download it and you go, locating, no fixer found. You'd be like, that's rubbish, in the bin, delete, whatever. So we need to always be growing our pool of fixers in preparation and ready to do the fulfillment part, the work part, should the jobs come in. So I get asked a lot on Instagram, etc. You know, are you national? Technically, yes, we're national. We have national reach. We're able to fulfill nationally. However, our growth strategy is a bit different. So, started up very much in the southeast, and we're moving to the major cities up the UK with major recruitment strategies for fixers, because our statistics show we need 4.5 tradespeople. I don't know how you get half.
Count me as that if you want.
I mean, technically, you could count as half if you start at 10, finish at 3. But you need 4.5 tradespeople available to take that one job should it come in.
Yeah.
So therefore, we need to saturate our pool of people on the fixer side before we can push for the consumer side. Getting customers is actually for us the easy bit. It's being able to fulfill it the back end with the fixer. So
I thought that'd be the easy part, you know. I don't know getting trade. Yeah.
I say it is easy. When people understand the concept, then it's a no-brainer for them. It's like you brought up Checker Trade. It's the biggest comparison we get, and why it's difficult for people to compare it in their own minds is because there isn't anyone doing what we do. So if you look at Bark, My Job Quote, My Builder, all of those other platforms, they're encouraging you to part with your cash first. So you have to take a punt on, this job looks roughly what I'd be interested in doing, and then when you take that job, you've paid £7 for that lead. Then you are having to either make a phone call to a customer, you're getting more information, having maybe a 30-minute conversation with someone trying to explain the problem. You're like, yeah, Mrs. Smith, just WhatsApp me the pictures. You do all of that, and then you end up thinking to yourself, well, I know I'm not the only person that spent £7 on this lead, so I have to kind of probably box clever with my pricing. And it's a race to the bottom. You're getting people, there's always someone willing to do it for less than you. And fundamentally, you're probably going to win 1 in 5 of those. So people really don't realise that it costs them, every new customer costs them money. So in that instance, you might have bought 4 leads, £28. You went in at 80 instead of 90 for your first hour because you were hoping to win it. So really, you're netting £50 on that job. When you go through our platform, you sign up, you pay nothing. If that job comes in and we were offering you £60 for that first hour, you'd be like, I'll take that. Or I don't want to take that. It's too far away. It's not the right time of day. It's okay. Just take it only when you want and when you need it.
And that's precisely why I brought up these other competition companies, so you could compare and tell the people what are the benefits, and that's why I brought it up. But that's good though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're not tied in, like you say, and you don't feel under pressure to drop your prices. It's all on you as the tradesperson, isn't it? You're not feeling as if, even though obviously there are other fitters and this, that and the other out there, you're not feeling in like a competition where you're like, oh, I've got to, do you know what I mean? So
It almost sets the standards in a way.
Yeah, it's think about it from a traditional subcontracting point of view. Everyone that does any subcontracting for any other company, they know that the company above them has to make, is winning the work, has to make a bit of a margin, and then it gets to you and you get paid for what you do. And in theory, like I said, if the time's right, you take it. If it's not, it's not. And if you do try and take it, it's sorry, another fixer's picked up the job. You missed out, that's fine. That competitive bit is good. And we encourage people to respond as quickly as they can. But if they don't want it, they don't need to worry about it. And if they're not paying for it, so for argument's sake, if you're in Birmingham and we're just not overwhelmed with jobs in Birmingham, sign up now anyway, because when those pings come through, you can start to pick up those jobs. Yeah. You're not paying to be on there, so what's the
you
loss?
just take a percentage of the job total. Done. Sort of thing.
When the customer books the job, it will like Apple Pay or Google Pay the first hour. So we'll be charging the customer £100 in that when they secure the job, and we'll be offering out £70, and we make the bit in the middle.
Got ya.
So there's not what the message comes through to you with a price on it. That's what you're going to get. Yeah. There's no more deductions or commissions off the back of that.
You're right.
So you know that's what you're going to get. If you arrive at the customer's house, you now need a part and another 2 hours there. Then you respond through the app to tell our office what we need to do. They reauthorize with the customer. You get the green light to go either carry on in the moment or come back tomorrow with a part, or wait for the part. See what I did there?
Oh yeah! Oh, look at that! Whoa, that's brilliant. So, he's transitioning again, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant.
So it just makes it super easy. There's a lot of people in starting out phases or growth phases in their business, and you just never know when that extra job's going to come in handy. I mean, some people go, "Oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I've got loads of work. I don't need it." It's like, that can't be like all the time. It just can't be. There's always going to be a hiccup or two.
Yes, I was just thinking, as you said that, would there be, when somebody says they're really, really busy and they're overwhelmed with work, would you, as a company, take work off of engineers, builders?
His fingers an engineer now.
I'm just thinking,
you should launch an app.
Because but then you, as the company, could you take that and say, well, listen, we'll take the job off of you and pay you a subsidy for it, and then offer it out. So then that's a plumber, electrician, whatever.
Yeah.
He hasn't so much as lost his client, and he's put his faith in you to provide a service where he can't make it. Do you know what I mean?
100%. So our roadmap obviously is quite long and drawn out. We've got so much to develop, and we're constantly in the development phase, as we all are. But it's the B2B part of this is where it will unlock quite a lot of opportunities for us. So, primarily we need to be in everyone's phone as the first person they think of when they have a maintenance need in their home. And we need to be cutting our teeth with the fix it fast now. Yeah. And if you do need to get a bathroom quote, you've got loads of places you could go to source someone to go and get 3 quotes for a 10k bathroom. But when you need someone right now, where's that quick response, which is what we're all kind of working towards. Tech is allowing us to be that way.
I was just thinking, as say me, for example, as the plumber, my customer phones me and says, I've got a leak coming through the ceiling, Peter, and I'm on a job already fixing a leak. Not mine, fixing a leak or whatever on that, and I can't get there. So as me as the plumber, could I then say, if I was in affiliation with you, say, do you know what I mean? Say, Gio, my customer needs a thing, but obviously I don't want to lose that customer, so I want to keep. But I've sorted the problem via you because you found something to go. And is there an avenue for that there to?
So potentially. So I haven't thought about it from a one person point of view like you. If you're on sole trader going around on your own, but if you were say you're a business with 5 heating engineers, phone's in sick and you've got like 7 jobs rammed out and you've already moved customers, it's height of winter, you should be able to come on our app and source someone on a day rate or a per job basis and just basically pick up and make sure that work all gets fulfilled.
Yeah, but obviously the customer as the plumber, I want to keep my customer.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't want him to go, because that's the thing with plumbing, right? Because it is so like, reactive.
Yeah.
And we can't be there, obviously. So you're talking about loyalty from customers. You can't blame customers going elsewhere, because if they've got water pissing through the ceiling, they're not going to wait for you for 2 days, are they? But obviously, as the plumber, you don't want to lose that customer. So you obviously want some sort of relationship there between you and them. So as to therefore, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, 100%. That makes sense. So they're going to have to go to other avenues, pick up the phone, and go search on the internet to find someone anyway. You would rather have put them in touch with your mate that's local to them to pick up the job. And if we're your mate in your pocket, it gives you the way of fulfilling that. I mean, technically, people could go much further with that. They could almost run building sites and just outsource through our platform all the trades and services they need. The scope of that is quite big, and what we need to develop, and we're in the middle of, is like that proprietary kind of desktop situation where you can receive incoming work and assign it to which engineer you want to do it to, so that we can become more fulfilling in all angles. So that's coming soon.
Good thing.
Good thinking.
You know what I mean?
Love that.
That is like, So what about, let's ask you the same questions we did Alistair. Who is the number one trade? Not saying, who uses you most?
To be honest, there is, when we look at our ratios, we've probably got 20% of our applicants are plumber, gas engineer. So can't always tell which is
right. They're all the same. Gio, they're all the same. There are people out there who go,
I
am not a plumber.
Engineer, my brother's a gas engineer.
I am a heating engineer. I'm a gas engineer. I'm not a plumber. I'm not a shit tickler. Right? We're all plumbers.
Yeah,
right?
You've got to start off
we're
by
all
knowing
plumbers.
how pipes go together.
Yeah,
right?
so
The thing is, not all plumbers. They're not always plumbers.
Some people just
you
can't do gas.
You can just go and do your gas.
If you're dealing with pipe, you're a plumber. All right. You're a plumber. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, mate. I don't care who you
We're having
are.
a plumb off.
You play with pipe. You play with pipe. You're a plumber.
Okay. All right, I agree.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
No, so I would say maybe it's actually 25 to 30% is plumber, gas, and then the next 15% is electricians, and then it goes down to like handyman, locksmiths, and just general trades.
Oh, locksmiths. Yeah. Could do with one of them. Yeah.
What, when you couldn't get in the back of your van?
Okay, when I lock my keys in the
you
back.
didn't find a dodgy Mercedes A-Class drive past and say, "Can you help me get in my van?"
Nah.
No.
But what you said earlier was that it's hard to get tradespeople on. I can understand. Obviously, because not all tradesmen are tech-minded. So what feedback have you both had from tradespeople in terms of like trying to get them to use technology?
So I think we were all at the installer show, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I think there's two different worlds, isn't there? There's the older school tradesperson who's always done it the way they've done it, and
It's me.
we're going to get him on there.
Locksmith.
And they're harder to convince because they're set in their ways and changing that habit. And then you've got the next generation who are coming through. And at the installer show, you get a lot of apprentices coming around and students coming around. And actually, that's our target market because they've grown up doing everything on their phone. I've got sort of young kids who've got no interest in going into shops unless they sell ice cream or something like that. But everything else, they just tap it and it lands at the door. And so I think convincing trades that there's a better way of doing it that ultimately improves their time or gives them new jobs is the biggest challenge. But once we crack that, then hopefully it's trade to trade. They spread the word. Say, look, get on this.
Plumbers are the worst for that to convince, right? Any innovation in plumbing over the years has been met with, oh, that is crap, that is this, the old way's best. You know what I mean? You go from plastic pipe to copper pipe, you go from, copper to press, anyway, anything that's new and innovative, the old school plumbers. So in the old days, everything was lead, right? So and old plumbers would like lead wipe it and all that. and then they probably went to like, I don't know, plastic waste pipes and stuff like that, and they probably would not have seen. But look at plastic waste pipe now; it's everywhere, isn't it? Everything. It all used to be cast iron and lead dressing and everything, but now it's all plastic, and no one would question it now, would they?
No.
So it's a case of that where you say you start at the beginning with the apprentices, and then eventually,
and 10, 20 years, all the old traditional ones would be gone anyway. It'd be all the new people coming through.
30 years
You'll be out.
30 years you'll be here, right, talking about the new teleportation, the teleportation of like stuff. Yeah, we
Drone
don't
delivery.
We don't do all that now. We just teleport it. What's a moped? Do you know what I mean? That's what it'll be, wouldn't it?
Pete's going to be sat on his sofa, basically ordering a tradesperson to do his job and ordering the parts to the site, just watching TV.
I'll be the middleman. That's it. Yeah,
That's what you should
I'll
do.
tell
You're loving it.
Right, this is it. You know, you got it. Yeah, you got. How am I going to do that? Right,
Pete,
let's
you
take
come
that.
do my job. No, I'm busy. I'll get someone to do it for you.
It's right hard, this plumbing game is right hard.
You sit there at 70 years old on the sofa, like, just
I can't move. I've got a parking space outside my house. I don't want to lose it.
Give me another pie. It's all good. It's all good, isn't it? I like the not that I'm tech minded, but I like the idea of like the tech world the way it's going. It's like it's all for convenience. But the thing that bothered me, like when you go back to like Deliveroo and all that, I thought to myself, well, like fast food was for lazy people, wasn't it?
Yeah, once.
I never knew that they could get any lazier, sort of thing, getting their fast food takeaway delivered. And that's how powerful it is, isn't it? Because
And coffees, you watch them now, and they go, "Who's going to nip out for the coffees?" And the coffee shop, it's the end of the street. So, no, we're not going to walk out for the coffees. Just press this, and they'll bring the coffees to us.
it's
But then that comes down to the value of time.
Of course, it does. Yeah.
If they're working away and get some valuable stuff done, just get it all delivered.
And we, you know, in our world in delivery, you say, well, you know, old school, the tradesperson goes to the counter and haggles, you know, saves £2 on a tube of sealant. But they never realise how much it's costing them to stand at the counter and haggle. So they've had to drive to the store, spend 20 minutes in store, drive back. So they've probably lost an hour, which is, well, plumbers, you know, 50, 60, 70 quid, I'm reckoning. You know,
That's pocket change.
that's, you know, and they've saved a couple of quid. And I think the old school mindset is, I've just saved a couple of quid, I've got a really good deal on my sealant. But actually, you'd say, well, it's cost you 50 quid to save that.
If you're more efficient, you can earn a lot more money.
Where do you see though in the future though? Do you see like the closure of merchants then? Like, do you see?
So it's in our world, you know, merchants are really key because when you go onto the app, it taps you into every merchant that's within 10 miles of you.
Yeah.
So if we didn't have the merchants, you'd have to order overnight and it'd be delivered online and you get it next day. So we need the merchants. And actually the merchants need tech because in 5 years' time, how many people are going to be giving up an hour or 2 hours to go to the merchant? So I think if we can embrace it, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And we need all these spots around. Well, I mean, use Deliveroo as the example again. They've now got these dark kitchens where they're making, you know, burgers and Chinese and all coming out of the same food store with different brands on. But they have to be local. So I think merchants are really important going forward. And the expertise of merchants, you need quality people behind the counter who are giving you the right parts.
Yeah, definitely. But as a whole, though, so what you're saying merchants will possibly be quieter with the tradesmen in the future, but they're probably like you say, you're working with the apprentices now. It's probably a good idea for merchants to tie themselves in with you now before they get left behind, if you like, in that world, because albeit they're not going to be in the future, it's not going to be the counter stuff as much.
Might be
is
less
it?
customer facing.
Well, there's less. So there's
small shop front.
There's we've got a store in Farringdon, so one of our merchants in Farringdon. So every morning now we've probably got anywhere between 5 and 10 drivers who'll be queuing, collecting materials.
Are these people that just do this? Or
So
do they...
no, we partner with so Uber is a big partner of ours. City Sprint, Stewart. So most of the main couriers who are happy to carry trade materials. And to be honest, if you're a tradesperson, you don't care who delivers it as long as you get it on time and they hand it over to you and you crack on.
Unless you was a black cab driver in your spare time, in which case you probably wouldn't want
yeah,
you
Uber.
got no
would you?
No, you're now
Send it
delivering
back, mate.
materials.
Hello, you wonderful listeners and watchers. Just pumping the brakes on this exciting episode to let you know about Kieran's app that's changing the game in the gas certificate world.
If you're sick and tired of doing gas certificates on paper, then Gas Certificate app is your way forward. But it wouldn't be an app worth talking about if that's it. With no hassle, you can manage your diaries, invoices and quotes for all your jobs, so you'll never be chasing paperwork again.
Don't forget those boiler manuals. I can tell you how many times I've been looking at a boiler and thinking, what the? Thankfully, the in-app boiler manuals have saved me and got me out of quite the pinch.
If it's helped Pete here, then Gas Certificate app will definitely help you, especially with its easy-to-use gas reg calculator and the extremely handy ability to duplicate certs. Brilliant for when you're doing your annual services on previous jobs.
And for the icing on the cake, it has a complete offline mode. So if you're on a job in the middle of nowhere or servicing a boiler in the basement of a building with no signal, you've still got access to everything the app has to offer to keep you working hard.
So click the link down below or in the description. Use the code POD30 to get 30% off yearly subscriptions. That's for all new users. That's POD30 for 30% off our yearly subscriptions for new users. But yeah, like you say, it'd be customer facing. I even think for a tradesman, if you've got an apprentice sitting on the seat while you're on the way to the job, they can just
Be
do
doing
the order.
ordering,
Between jobs, they might know what they want. Just be like, can you quickly order this for the next job?
Yeah.
And what's cool, I think, is now there's tech starting to grow in each area. So helping engineers with certificates, just making it easy for them to access what you're doing online, sorting labour and getting jobs online, getting the materials online. Gradually, it all connects together, doesn't it?
It's almost done for them. It makes it easier for them to go and be self-employed.
They train to be the tradesperson and do what they do best, which is
It gives them more confidence, because a lot of people are scared of taking that jump, of not having work and stuff like that. So if there's apps out there that's going to help them cover all areas, then it maybe helps them make that choice.
And for schools now, for kids who are in school wanting to go into a trade, I reckon there's never been as an exciting time to go into a trade, because AI is this big threat, isn't it? It's going to stop all these jobs, from marketing and sales. And whereas you look at trades, we're a long way off getting robots installing boilers and doing all these things. And so I think it's a really good time. People will make good money going forward in trades, because there's going to be a high demand for quality tradespeople. But they'll be they'll be powered by the tech that we build around them to make them sort of more relevant than they have been.
But it's also things like efficiencies of doing business, because I think everyone goes in. If you're good with your hands and you decide you're going to do a trade, you kind of go in, you get your van, you save up your money, get your van and your parents and whatever. You get started and you go, great, I've got enough work and friends and family, and people get on the Facebook groups and they do everything they can to hustle like a week's money basically. And then they go, but then they're still using old school paper dockets, and they're still like going to the suppliers going, I need this bit, I need that bit, I don't know what to get. And I think what they do is they just learn the hard way, and it's almost like telling a teenager, don't do this, and they go, yeah dad, and they just do it anyway, because they've got to learn it for themselves. But they've got to eventually hit enough walls to go, there's got to be an easier way of doing this. Obviously we've all lived and breathed it enough to go, there is an easier way, so we'll actually make that happen. But down to ordering stuff, controlling your diaries and the way you do your workload, but even down to like marketing is a big thing. That's where we come in, obviously, because people just don't know how to get outside of that. They think of review sites, they think of the Facebook posts and the groups, and
or even they just think of word of mouth, don't they? They don't look outside that.
I think like it goes back to like what Alistair said. It's like there is going to be more work for the tradesman, because you're going to save more time. Like you say, you're going to get there ain't no chance of AI taking over the electricians or the plumbers. You know what I mean? There ain't no danger of a cyborg bloody plumber coming round and going, I'm just going out to the merchants.
That's in their plan.
I'll be back.
They're building robots now. Learn how to use
Is that what they're doing? Is that what they're doing?
How to fit a tap,
Sarah Connor, no. It's like so, but the older people, I think that's why they are scared of innovation because they think it's going to take their jobs away. It ain't going to take the job away, is it, in effect? Is it? It's probably going to improve it and help it make it more convenient. So you can stay working until you're 85 because you ain't getting a pension, mate. Do you know what I mean? So that would be my way of saying it's going to help them rather than, take the work away. I think that's what most people are worried about.
And it'll just become the norm. I think we're just going through this period of change. You look at now how we order films. We don't go to Blockbuster anymore. We just go onto Netflix and we get whatever we want to watch whenever we want it. Yeah. Or you listen to music. You don't go to a record shop anymore. You go, vinyl's coming back in now with people like the Crackle. Yeah. But other than that, you go on Spotify. You can listen to any tune you want to whenever you want to listen.
But as we're going in this world of like future, then do you see like the big the retail parks? Do you see them closing down? Everything closing down to making space.
It's a big question, Pete. Nice.
But it's a sensible one at the same time because, like we're saying, everything is available, isn't it? Everything's available.
Shrunk. I think everything shrunk. It's definitely shrunk, but I think it gets to a point where people go, "I still want my little coffee shop. I still want
need to be connected."
But that's the thing where people say, "Yeah, I still want my little coffee shop and that." But because of all the other shops and convenience places closing down.
I don't think coffee shops would shut down. Yeah, but maybe closed.
Yeah, but hang on. I know you can't I know you can't drink a cyber coffee. I know you can't drink a cyber coffee. But what I'm saying is, think about it. If all the other shops in the area are closed, how is that coffee shop going to survive? Because it's obviously his retail rent's going to go up.
People walking around.
Do you know? There's not many people walking around, so.
Just be robots walking around the town.
Yeah,
doing their deliveries.
But you see it because at the moment we've got like big retail products. You've got like B&Q. You've got like your big outlets and places like Lakeside and all this. Do you see them in the future being non-existent?
No, they won't.
No.
It's hard to
This is not. But it's just a real question because that's what people are afraid of. That's what a lot of people are afraid of, and that's probably what you as companies will probably suffer because of that people's mindset. Do you know what I mean?
I'm thinking
it's going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, I think there's a certain few people that are going to worry about these things, and it's the same about any freedom of choice we have in every angle of life. I think some people just prefer to walk up the road and get their paper. Some people prefer to order it delivered to them. Some people will read the daily paper. Some people will use an app to read the news. And there's something for everyone. I think there's just more choices now, and tech is just making it easier and convenient for people that are time poor. I think time always becomes the thing because I think, again, if you take it back to tradespeople, I remember growing up with my old man on the tools, out before I was up, back just before I went to bed, long days.
What did he do?
He was a gas engineer.
Was you a plumber as well?
No. On the van from the age of 6, looking after the van from the parking wardens, bringing the parts. I wasn't able to order them whilst I was on the passenger seat because it didn't exist then. But it was always a full English in it for me, so set the tone really. Yeah. My brother's a gas engineer, so he's on the tools, and my dad still is on the tools, but he just dropped his gas and does all multi-trades.
Is he using you?
Yeah,
he's
a JustFix fixer.
Is he a JustFix fixer?
Is, yeah.
Oh, right. What about your brother? Is he?
Do you know what? I haven't asked him.
Right.
I haven't asked him. It's one of those things. Paul, if you're watching this, sign up.
You get a family rate. As a plumber, nah, you don't get family rates. You don't get family rate. What do you do for me? Well, he can sort your gas out, can't he?
No, but my brother's one of those perfect examples where he's got a really good work-life balance. He makes sure he has his family time, his holidays. He doesn't want to work weekends, so he doesn't work weekends, and he controls all of that perfectly. And he's a little bit older. He's been through the pain of doing it the hard way and, seeing less of the family, etc. So that's that kind of learning curve I was explaining, that, giving time back. It's not even like the £50 you might be losing at the merchants. It's the get home earlier, see your newborn kid or see your 5-year-old kid. Doesn't matter how old they are. Have a relationship.
Like with my time, I used to be, even now, I used to hate starting late because I knew I'd want to start at 8, but if the person weren't in the house and I was starting at 8:30, I knew that's going to extend my day.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
I hated driving to the merchants. It really frustrated me when I wasted. I looked at it as wasting time driving to the shop.
No offence, Alistair, but I quite like driving.
No, I used to hate it.
To the merchants, I know it's not a good thing for you, but I quite like just getting away from our customers.
I really was
And
like,
London, I can see how it will work.
I can't promote that.
No, I know you can't. But as me, as a plumber, sometimes I just think, I just need to think about
I
it.
look it up and just
I've got to
like
go
you
to
say,
the
get home
merchants.
early.
Yeah.
Get your jobs done and just get home. You got time to do your paperwork and stuff like that if you need to, and then you've got an evening to sort of chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a time freak.
But what about, like, I know you say that, right? But there are a certain number of men out there, right, who, and they probably won't want to admit it,
Don't wanna
they
get
don't
back
to home.
want to get back to the
They
missus.
don't want to be in the customer's house. They don't want to be at home in the
They
missus.
just want to be down the golf range.
Yeah, basically.
But no, yeah, but so it's all like
Tag
all
them in now.
isn't it? Like people's different people's lives, different.
Yeah, you
know
should
what I mean?
choose the trade that relates. So if you want to stay at working late, be a plumber. If you want to go home early to see your missus, what trade you going to be?
Painter.
We keep saying painter.
Painters say they're working till 5, they're in the pub 3 till 5. That's it. And then they come home and go, just have a
Yeah,
half.
they're not painters, are they? They're not. I don't like to call them painters, right?
Decorators.
No, I like to call them artists.
Artists.
They're artists. Piss artists.
So what?
Well, like a few beers down the pub on a Friday, don't they? From one.
What's in his coffee?
Oh no, don't. I have to put up with him one day
I'm
a week.
for all the painters out there, I'm joking. We know we just have a little bit of banter with you. You know what I mean? It's just.
Did you see the
it's a bit
video
of a
that we
laugh.
done
Which one?
when we was doing painting here? We
Kieran,
took the mick
he
out of
really-
painters.
he
What I
really pissed-
did.
he
Got
really
like
pissed
5
him off.
million views on the
7?
video. He took it down.
7 million.
All the comments that were coming
Really?
through.
It's funny, there's 7 million views. My mate phoned me up from West Ham football ground. He went, there's a geezer in front of me. He's watching your video with your mate ripping the shit out of decorators. I was like, oh, well, really? It's like when, absolutely, and it was only like a throwaway. We were just having a bit of a laugh. He's going, it's right easy, this painting. And yeah,
Take it down.
we had a bit of a backlash.
I don't know why you took- you
They
just
was
get-
all outside with their rollers.
No, you, got,
Protesting.
you just got the ump with the notifications, wasn't it? I don't
Yeah.
know why you took it down.
And I took it down because I just thought, some people are not looking at this as banter. They actually think we think it's an easy job, which we don't. I'd never want to be a decorator because it's just, I've just not got the patience.
I just
It's
paint my own house.
not got the patience to be a decorator.
It's an art, isn't it? But I think with all trades, the difference between good and bad is big. In
Yeah.
painting and decorating,
You've got
You don't need a
decorators.
certificate to dip a brush in a
Yeah.
can and give it a go. So like when you would probably do in the office, you're like, oh yeah, it's just dead easy. At the other end
my
of the
dad's
scale,
my dad's a
you've-
painter.
is he?
Yeah.
And but the other end of the scale, you've got the
Yeah.
they are craftsmen, aren't they?
Yeah,
And
because
like,
that's
look
what
at
you
Insta
see.
now. You've got them cutting in really slowly. And you think,
That's what you see when you walk into someone's house. That is you'll see the decor in that house, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? And that will cast that on a lot of people. That will cast an impression on you as a person. So the
But
decorator.
everyone thinks it's easy until they try and do
I
it.
know exactly.
And so you can still tell there was a doorway there, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
don't even
let's
look
talk
at
to him about that, mate. He's the one who done it. He had the nerve to take the piss.
I did.
We have a real painter decorator over here, please.
we didn't do it.
But it's the same. Like every,
Yeah, let me sort
it's like everyone can.
He's on his
I'll
way.
tell you the story after.
It's like everyone could, like I said to you before, everyone can be a plumber. Anyone can turn up around someone's house and go, yes, I'm a plumber and a bathroom thing. And then they do it and the people go, oh yes, look at my bathroom. But then underneath and behind and everything, oh, there's fittings leaking, there's something's about to pop off, and do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's you got to do your research on people, wouldn't you, really? Find out if they are a proper
Fully
decorator
vetted.
and plumber. And
Fully
plumber.
vetted.
Fully vetted, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I've had some like comments on like Instagram and socials, and like people say, "Oh, here's another one for the Cowboys," and I'm like, and I've also had someone say, "Oh, if you're good at your job, you don't need to advertise," and I kindly replied, "So everyone that's got a website, a Google listing, is on Checker Trade, is is not good at their job." If I reverse your statement, it's like, it's not about that, as I said about the Amazon example, if you go on other websites and find someone and make a call and get them over, or Facebook Marketplace recommendations, whatever it is, anyone's only as good as their last job. They may click with you. We all know we've had customers who go, think you're amazing, and then the other one just hates you, and you can't even explain why. It's a personality crack.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot.
Yeah. How long are you down the merch, Pete? I'm going to be in charge for this. But yeah, it's like one of those where I just think that you're never going to please everyone. We're just, it's always about giving people choice. And if you got, a workmanship warranty, I don't know if you have, Pete.
Tail light guarantee.
Then that's what people are basically getting. They want reassurances.
Listen,
that's what they want.
Yeah,
and if you put it right, if you get it wrong,
I'm one of
that's
them
what matters.
people. If there's something wrong with my work, I'll go back and sort it out. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm one of them people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't leave people in the. I could never do that. Do you know what I mean? So I, as much as I laugh and joke, I am pretty good at my job, and I offer a good service and callback. So just plugging myself out there for anyone who
Still need to
needs.
go work with you.
You need, come see me. One Plumbing. If you don't know, look on Facebook. One Plum. Oh, really? Give myself a One Plumbing.
Does that mean you go?
I'm gonna get stuff from these guys probably.
Does that mean you fix it once and don't go back?
He's off the platform.
What?
You fix it once and don't go back. Is that
Yeah.
why one plumber?
Only happens once. Yeah.
One fix.
One fix.
One, yeah. You're only burnt once.
So what sort of areas do you cover and stuff if people wanted to use?
TradeKart.
Yeah.
So we're live across London now. So we've got pretty much most merchants in. So the likes of City Plumbing, Moran's, Tucker French, Lawson's. So London's pretty much nailed now. We've just launched in Edinburgh, Glasgow. Last week I was driving around the north. So Bradford, Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester. So we're now in probably the top 100 cities across the UK. And we're just expanding. The aim is by the end of this year, in pretty much every major town, basically where you can get an Uber, we're available and we're connecting merchants. And the good news is, last week we went live with Selco.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
And Selco, they're loving it. You go into the branch, we have good crack with the team in the branch. They see it as this great opportunity for them to look after their customers when they can't make it into store. So that's cool. We're pulling together, we're having building this great relationship with these merchants.
Yeah.
And now it's about communicating it and getting it out to the tradespeople. So, which is a little bit different. That costs money and it costs time. And back to what we were saying at the start, convincing people. It's like, have you heard of this new app? You just press a button and you get what you want when you want it. Yeah. So give it a go.
Yeah, that's the hard part, getting the message out there and getting them on there.
Yeah.
They could download it, but whether they're going to use it is a different story, isn't it? So it's getting them to sort of make changes in their sort of
Behaviours,
day-to-day.
yeah.
And when they use it, it's the making sure that first time for us, it's when we get a first user on it, we are all over it, right?
Yeah.
Make sure it's seamless and it lands properly within time. And touch wood, that's happening at the moment. Yeah.
I think I think the biggest thing is probably, you said what's the biggest challenge? I think skepticism. People have. When I had my own heating company, I used to get emails all the time. Like one was like Star of Service. I don't know who that is, but it's just like a plain text email says we've got a job for you, and do you want to click here, buy a lead? And you think, how did they get my email address? But what is it? And before you know, you click on it, and people sign up to things, and they're short lived, and they lose a bit of faith really, because there's a lot of people maybe had a go, or they've done a really bad job at it, and it's kind of burnt them. I've done things like that before, and you get kind of clubbed into that pool of bad stuff, I suppose. But when if you're actually interested in what we're offering, then you should actually look into it a bit more, try and understand it, ask the questions, because we can't always answer the questions that we're not getting asked. And they say no questions are a silly question. That's what they say at school.
This might be interesting for you. Right, I've just thought of it. Okay. Right, so if you look online, right, every plumber, right, can be reviewed, right? When you're on these things, so do you have a review on yours?
So we have a customer gets to leave a review, and then we get them to and then basically if they give a thumbs down, if you like, for the engineer, we'll pick up the phone immediately and try and triage that situation. Right. What you're not happy with, and then we have an internal rating system for the fixers. So if they fall below a certain standard, then obviously we're going to keep feeding back to them. Do you want to ask the other half of your question?
Now, you've said that you
I
say,
know what he's gonna say.
yeah, you know what I'm going to say. A lot of plumbers, tradesmen, will ask this: what about the review for the customer?
Like rogue customers, Matt. All right, that's what we need.
Yeah,
We do need that.
So would that be something you could do or look into it? Is that possible? Because you see it on every set. Whenever we do a post on this type of thing, the plumbers, the electricians, the tradesmen always go, we need a review on customers, road trust customers.
Yeah.
Would this be something you could possibly implement into your service?
I think it's two things, right? So one, when you take a job through JustFix, you're guaranteed that first hour, right? They've Apple paid that first hour like you do when you pay for Uber before it pulls up, right? So you know you're getting paid to turn up. If you're there 1 minute or 59 minutes, you're going to get paid. Because we're all from like trades backgrounds, we understand customers can be difficult. So
That's
we
a
know,
good one, actually. Actually getting paid straight away.
yeah, that money that money's guaranteed
Yeah.
to you. I mean, asterisks, if you've turned up, swore at them within 2 minutes because you're in a bad mood, couldn't find a parking space, got the wrong part for the merchant, now you got to go back. If you're annoyed and whatever, my point being is that we've secured the money, so we can't, obviously no one can guarantee the customer's going to be a good egg.
Yeah.
What we can guarantee is you're going to get paid for your time if you bother to go.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, managing, so what I was going to say was that because we've been in the world of tradespeople long enough, we know that you can't always please every customer. So we'll always go in, on the fence and go, let's hear the customer story, let's hear the fixer's story, and let's try and work that one out. If it's a case of Dave went to a job, Mrs. Smith isn't happy, Mrs. Smith, we're going to send Dave back, he's going to put it right. I don't want Dave back. Okay, we'll send Jack. And we'll send Jack and it'll be at our cost. That's part of our business model. We are guaranteeing a quality of service to the homeowner, and it will then become a problem with us dealing with Dave on what happened. And if we think Dave just got the bad end of Mrs. Smith, then we'll just pay Dave anyway. Keep him happy because he's a good egg.
And Jack will go, Dave was right. Yeah. Dave was right. She was a complete beep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
know,
one.
because it's probably the question I've asked it. Yeah, you pay before. There's no chance of getting knocked, is there? Sort of thing on your app. So I think because we've spoke about that, but it's just a question that comes to me.
You got to think what's the reason to give them a bad review? It's mainly what they don't pay. What's the other
Take, for example, the other day, well, you weren't in the group chat, but like someone in the group chat the other day warned another guy about a certain customer and they've done it to loads of people. Do you know what I mean? They've not paying or looking for like to get out
threatening libel, threatening bad reviews.
Exactly. Yeah. This type of thing, and there are people out there who do that to get a job done for nothing or next to nothing. They know where they are on the law. They chuck a few accusations in. They say this, say that. They know the plumber, the electrician is thinking, oh, do you know what? This is more trouble than it's worth. I'm not going to a small claims court. And these people are out there.
Oh, yeah.
They exist and they cause people absolute carnage.
They're the same people putting in a pubal, putting in their main course.
Yeah.
Saying,
Exactly. They are exactly. No, he's right on the analogy.
I meant chest hair. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. Have you got any chest hairs left, yeah?
No.
Oh, he's the one. but no, they're out there. So it's like a lot of people are asking for that kind of like technology app, whatever, for tradesmen. And I don't know how anyone would stand on it or how you do it, but
the customers get away with it. They're not vetted or reviewed in any way.
The good example is Uber, isn't it? So the driver can rate the passenger, and the passenger can rate the driver.
Exactly.
We don't know what our scores are, and they do, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So actually, get out and say, actually, that driver's really rude. I'll have that. But also, if you chuck up in the back of his cab, he'll get out.
Well, that's
one
it,
star, and then the cream should rise to the top, shouldn't it?
I think
it's harder with consumers, isn't it? If it's a one-off job, DIY, you turn up, you do your job. They know that they can hurt you a lot more than you can hurt them because they'll give you a thumbs down.
They'll just go to the next platform.
Did they make make a cup of tea? Check. Did they make a cup of tea? Check. Did they
chocolate biscuits?
Yeah, was there biscuits? Did they? I don't know. Did they? I don't know. Ask you to keep the gate shut for the dog. That's a pain in the arse.
Did they have annoying kids?
Yeah, was the kids annoying? Yeah.
Was the pet jumping up and licking your face while you're trying to fix a ball phone?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just something.
Yeah, it is a difficult one, like you say. It's a one.
But it's a question. It's a statement I see time and time again from tradesmen. So it's just,
I would love a Matt Allright road customers. I've said it. Yeah, same. All tradespeople, because you get them, and they can get really heavy, really long, drawn out situations. You're like, is it worth it? And sometimes you just think out of principle, I really want to like go the whole hog with this customer, but then you're like, really, like with the world being so visible, reviews, if they are going to go on all these sites and write a bad review, then even if you try and counteract those reviews, people just the platform goes, oh, we have to remain impartial. Google says we can't take that down.
I think the review system is a little harsh in a way, because like, you know, they only have to like knock you down. You've got a 5-star rating, you've been brilliant, and it's always that till you're only as good as your last job situation. But if you've got a pain in the arse customer who's just feels like I don't want to pay that much money and I'm not happy with that, and then they can knock you down. You might have done a good job. What does the customer know really about the job you do?
Yeah.
For one. Number two, my mate got knocked down on a review once because he couldn't take the call, right? So they phoned him up to come out for that. He went, I'm not available. He said, I'm just not available, I can't come out. And they knocked him down on his thing. And he was like, how can you review me? He goes, I've not even been to, I've said I can't make it to the job. And how can you knock me down for that? Because I've not answered you straight away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, people are nuts.
And
Don't know what you do about that.
that's the type of people you're dealing with when you're in the trades, isn't it? Everyone.
Yeah, I don't think. What do you think? Do you think you'll be able to implement something like that?
Well, I mean, like you said about the Uber example, that is a good one. I think the frequency would be the same. I mean, if we had a customer, for argument's sake, that just didn't like complained at every interaction, no matter who we sent for whatever trade or service, I think we would probably say we're not willing to work with a customer, because we don't want to send our fixes into bad customers. We don't want the hassle either.
To be
right?
fair,
we're all humans.
To be fair, if you did that, your customers, they're not going to get any tradesmen, are they? If they see a review on your site, are they?
But then you need to hear both stories. It's not always.
No, it's not black and white.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
To manage.
It's also keeping it off social, isn't it? I think, you know, if you fight a battle on social with a customer who's going to use a plumber once every 2 or 3 years, and plumbing's your livelihood, you just don't need to pick that fight on social, because they can, you know, bad reviews, as you say, are a nightmare to get rid of.
Just have a complaint procedure.
Yeah.
So they can complain about the customer, and if you see that regularly, then you can say, right.
Maybe we just make a page up called Bad Customer Reviews, and anyone can just post the customer who's a pain in the arse and say what area they're from.
Just call them
Name and shame.
Name and shut, and that is it. We just make a page up. Bad customers.
Imagine that, customers living in fear of getting a bad review, making you think
Bad, maybe that'll be it. Yeah,
like freaking out.
Yeah.
What are you going to give me a 5-star?
Trade customers. Let's do that. Let's make a page up, dedicate it to all shithouse customers.
That would be entertaining.
We'll let you do that.
Very.
You can rant on there. It'd just be Pete ranting.
What's this space?
On the World Wide Web. Yeah.
I think these days like this is important, isn't it? Like you look at installer, how many people it brings together.
Yeah.
And we did the the paintball.
Yeah.
Paintball was brilliant. There were some people who took it to the extreme, weren't there? I was actually quite looking forward to it. I just thought, as a state, I did this 20 years ago on a state do. I'm looking forward to it again. I turn up, there's people who turn up with their own machine guns that fire paint at me really fast. And they've not only got a machine gun, but they've got a gun rack to hold. I think, oh, this is going to hurt.
Which gun should we take out for this one? Well, this one's a really like open field.
Jay and Kev went yesterday, didn't they? You see?
Did they?
They went paintballing at Mayhem yesterday.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I've just about recovered from the bruises, but that was a brilliant example of getting all these trades together. And
darker days come in, and it gets colder, and everyone starts getting busier and back to business.
Everyone starts working 24/7.
Go to work in the dark, come home in the dark. Bloody hate his job. You know the ones, innit? Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I think the events.
That's when my sad syndrome sets in.
Yeah,
when I'm not going to be so lively on this podcast.
It's like double, isn't it? Weather's crap and you got to work more.
I hate it.
That's what I'm saying. Plumbers get to play golf in the summer, don't they? And then they've got to knuckle down in the winter. Yeah. We do have the best of both worlds there.
Yeah. And easy call outs.
Yeah.
Condensed, frozen.
Oh, yeah. I like them ones. But I don't. Do you know what? I normally talk them over the phone. I do.
From the pub.
I don't know. I just go, you got a kettle or an hairdryer? Yeah, warm that pipe up. That's all you got to do. But there will people go out there and they will obviously charge people for that, but I'd rather try and talk somebody through that simple
So you ain't got to
job.
go and do it.
So I ain't got to go and do it. But at the same time, they're elated that they've done it themselves, and they think, oh, he's a nice guy. He hasn't charged me for the privilege of coming out and charging. Because some people are charging 80, 100 quid to come out for a call out just to get a hairdryer out or pour some hot water over a condense. And I think to myself, you could go about that a different way, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? All right, if you didn't know what the problem was, but when one of your normal customers phones up, like
normal customers,
good normal
you
customers,
help.
you want to help them, don't you? But there are guys who go, oh yeah, that's 100 quid, and I think to myself, well, it's not really that's not really oil in the cogs of industry, really, is it? Because you're sort of like, I think you should just try and help where you can if you've got a good customer and keep that relationship going. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's just me.
Yeah, but sometimes you're just a company that gets a phone call, says,
yeah, of course,
not working. Yeah, we'll send an engineer out. Engineer turns up. Obviously, time's money, you've got to charge for it, you know. But actually, that tees in nicely to a little feature that's coming on JustFix's platform soon for homeowners. This wasn't pre-planned. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, I looked like I teed it up excellently, didn't it? You know what I mean?
Video call triage. So the customer's going to be able to use the app to actually engage in a video call with an expert at the other end.
Right.
That's going to talk them through potentially doing some troubleshooting or fact finding before we dispatch an engineer.
Keep your clothes on, you perverts. You know, don't want any of that stuff. No, bad review. He took his trousers off.
Yeah, we
don't think about it because we get rid of people like
video
you.
call with Karen.
You got another section as well.
New market.
But that's a good idea, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That they can actually engage in that. It's like if you say, like, if there is a plumber who is willing to do that anyway, and say, look, all you got to do, right, go under the sink and do this, job done, or go under the boiler, see them 2 little taps there, top it up to 1.5 bar. Stop it, job done. Your pressure's back up, your boiler's back on. The customer's going to think, oh, wow.
Just charge half
Thanks
price.
for that.
Yeah, so there, I don't know the actual charges yet, but there will be a charge to the customer to do that 15-minute video call. And if at the end of that video call we can't resolve the problem, we've probably got a GC number off the boiler, we've got a serial number off the washing machine, like we've got more information so we can better dispatch the right person with the right thing. We might be able to identify they need a motorised valve and a part, and we're going to go out with it tomorrow. So they've saved on the full-on call-out and got a bit further down the line, so we can go with the part and deal with it better.
Yeah, that's a good feature.
Go on, Kieran.
If you take the boiler case off, undo that nut.
No, don't take the.
I've got to come out. You need a new boiler.
The homeowner can do what they want in their own house, can't they? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing illegal about that. But like, you don't want to give bad advice because people can sue you for that, can't they? Now.
Well, there's liabilities everywhere.
Yeah, he told me.
I'll do that now.
Yeah.
It's just, there's always a risk and a liability of all of the things we do. But no, I think even like it's turn that ISO valve off, and I'll be there in the morning.
Yeah,
that's always helpful.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, you're not panicking that the water's going to continue dripping through your ceiling.
Yeah.
And we're coming tomorrow. So I think it is. Yeah, that's again the way forward. Cutting down communication time. People having to drive places to do it when they didn't need to get there. I mean, the amount of times we've gone and changed batteries in a thermostat is unreal. It's just like
you do it yourself.
Yeah, or to turn it on and off and on trick with every bit of kit and tech out there. You know, like do the basics, and then if we can't help with that,
turn it off. Count 10 seconds. Turn it on. What is it? What do you mean? We got to like turn it off? Yeah, turn it off.
Where do I do that? How often do they say that? Where do I do that? Yeah.
So where can people find you both for TradeKart and JustFix if they want to start using your apps?
So TradeKart, really simple. Download the app, Apple or Google. Head on to the website and give it a go. You know, there's a code there. You can trial it for the first time for free. It's a £5 anyway for a delivery, so it's not a huge ask. But you know, at this stage, you know, we're new, aren't we? We're all new into the game, so I think it's feedback. Give us feedback. What works for you? And we're building this to hopefully benefit.
Innovate your business.
Exactly.
Innovate your business or evaporate.
So yeah, download the app. Give it a go. If you're in a city or a town, it should be live now.
Nice.
You can find me on @JustFixGO on most social platforms. And then we also have a @JustFixers, which is on Instagram as well, which is our kind of more corporate fronted, less geocentric offering for keeping
You want
in
to see
touch
less
with us.
pink? Go on there.
Less pink. And then the JustFix app on the app stores is the consumer focused app. And if you follow the link in my bio or the JustFix's bio, you'll find how you sign up as a fixer.
Sweet.
Thank you for coming along,
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very
Brilliant.
much, guys. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
sharing the tech space in the trade industry. I think it's great that everyone's sort of creating these tech innovations to improve people's day-to-day working. All right, this has been another episode of Off the Job podcast.
Thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and all other streaming platforms.
If it's your first time watching or not, make sure to subscribe below and follow us on all the big social media stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
For our overtime show on Monday, send us in your stories and comments for it to be read out on the show. Send it in via email, direct message through our social media accounts, or WhatsApp us on 07457 406 259.
And we'll see you on the next episode.